Well, hello friends, good afternoon. Apologies for the delay there. I had this stream running on the iPad and it didn't look like it was running, so for the last minute you've seen and heard nothing. Though I've been here trying to make sure it's working. Anyway, thanks very much for joining if you are. I hope you've had a good break. If you're celebrating Easter and you get some time off, and if not, you've had a nice weekend. It's pretty glorious in the UK after a rocky start. So, without further ado, we're good to go.
Welcome to Hot Start Flight Support. How can we help you today?
So we've got a nice leisurely startup because we're not going to be going until 1300 Zulu. 3 crew, 8 packs, all with bags. We're going to need some fuel, and that will do us.
Of course, Captain. I'll get that organized for you right away.
Wonderful. Head out to the jet. So first things first, let's wander around to the back. Sounds like there's a bit of wind. Got 20 hours on the APU. Let's have a look at the ground services menu. APU battery connection is now made. Open the door. And we can connect the main battery. Take the pins and covers off. Leave the nose wheel chocks in for the moment. And I'll just leave this panel open so that we remember to pop the nose door up. So, lamp test down here, docks, circuit breakers. Looking along, looking for any white collars. So all lamps work on that, we'll let that itself up. If you are watching, do say hi. I do apologise, as always, if I can't see anything through the chat filter. Trying to monitor on the YouTube Studio doesn't really work on my iPad particularly well, though I haven't tried it for a while. So airplane and flight pubs checked, circuit breakers checked, emergency equipment. If you're looking at ACS, flashlights or torches, fire extinguishers, etc. Hydraulic pumps, we want to make sure those are all off, which they are. Nose steering down here is matched to my hardware and off. Landing gear lever down and matched to my hardware. Flight spoiler correctly mapped and off. Retracted. Flaps are up outside and up inside. ADG down here, manual release is stowed so the battery can come on. Maybe I won't need so much brightness because it is a little dim outside. So battery master is on and DC electrics.
Nose door.
Let's have a look at that, shall we? I will add these for you. Don't think the Volanta overlay is going to work anymore. something has changed with the app. They're always updating it and it always breaks something for me anyway. So showing that one today. I think the plugin has changed, so the port has probably changed, or I don't have it on. Let me quickly look in settings. I can't even navigate my way around this app. Overlay is running. Maybe they've changed the address, the port. Don't know. Let me see if I can. Nope, same address. I just needed a refresh. Great, well there we go. We can pop that up, so at least if you join mid-flight you can have a rough idea of where we are. Right. Why does that view look like it's changed? Guess it hasn't. Just me imagining things, I guess. I'll have to compare. Anyway. Where do we get to? 22 volts was what I was checking. We've got 25 on both batteries. FireX monitor and detection test. So left and right squib 1 and 2 okay. APU 1 and 2 okay. Fail check 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Caution and the warning 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Jet pipe overheat. Jet pipe overheat.
Switch lights. Nav lights are already on. APU if required, which it is. So we'll start it. Start latched, lights on. So APU is available. APU gen off. There we go, everything's powering up. Bus is sensible, DC sensible, TLUs are running, and the battery's not just charging.
Flight compartment checklist. AC and DC electrics.
Checked. So what are we looking for? DC electrical synoptic page. TRUs online with normal voltage and load indications. They are all green.
Orlando traffic, Scandinavian 55 entering runway 26 for departing.
DC buses are all powered and lit with battery chargers. Yeah. Now, interesting, I saw a stat that Norway is one of the few countries where over 80% of the population speak English. Pretty impressive for a population of, I suppose, 8 million.
Orlando traffic, Scandinavian 55 departing runway 26.
There he goes. Good climb rate.
All London traffic, KLM 182 entering runway 26. London traffic. All London traffic, KLM 182 departing runway 26. All London traffic.
Nav lights, logo light.
So logo's not required, nav lights are on.
Cockpit lights.
All right, Captain.
Set.
The truck is hooked up. Just let me know how much fuel you need. Or would you like to
So
go
flight
to
plan fuel. We've got an extra 1,600 pounds to arrive overhead with 4,000.
Passing 5,000 feet, Scandinavian 5.
Sounding busy. Let me just see if I can switch to mic 1 and see if that quietens that down a wee bit. So it's 8,438 pounds. We'll just round it to 8,500, shall we? And we'll take off 3,490. Means we need 5,010 pounds. To divide that by 2.204. Means we need 2,273 kilos. And we're going to then divide that by the specific weight, gravity. Gonna be weight, isn't it? Kilograms per litre. So that's divided by 0.817. Means we're going to need 2782.3 litres. So we're going to ask for 2,800.
All right, I'm gonna go start up the pump.
Lost about 10 kilos whilst working that out. So pop these on, do the quick shut-off test. Do you need pressure first though? I was a little bit quick jumping the gun there. Good, they'll work. Obviously you could do that with two hands in reality. And we are gas in. Excellent. So, that's the fuel on the way. Where do we get to with the checks? Cockpit lights.
Lamp test.
So, all appear to work. Left side.
Duct monitor.
So, bleed air duct is what we're listening for. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5
Bleed air duct.
warnings.
Bleed
Duct
air
test OK,
duct.
4 switch lights. Loop A. Test OK, loop B. Test OK.
FMS database status.
that over.
FMS flight plan uplink, ATIS.
Kind of makes sense having it set for the serial. So ATIS, who is online? Norway's online. Nobody here is online, so we'll just go weather, shall we? Where are we going today? We've got a fuel alternate for Amsterdam, but that's with the EASA rules. We're going to be carrying way more fuel than that, so we could probably do without, and I might change those. So let's get our terminal weather. We are at Arlanda. We're going to Luton, which I haven't been to for quite a long while in the sim. The original flight plan alternate was Heathrow, which I'm pretty sure you wouldn't file that, especially if you wanted to actually have an alternate, which is very unlikely to get in. Gatwick might be a better option. I suppose London City might get people to their destination. All depends on where they want to go. Maybe Farnborough, Biggin Hill. Hey Black Knight. Yeah, I am doing well, thank you very much. So, weather's on the way. ATIS, we can't get a departure, but we might be able to get it on arrival. So, pop that in. I might as well write it down now. That sounds like there's no ATIS. But you never know. With it being a bank holiday here, I'd expect London to be getting busy. Maybe a little bit later this afternoon. I don't want to leave it too late. I would prefer to do this in the daylight as well, just so we can see the sim. So, departure 11:50 Zulu. 300 at 1.5, greater than 10k visibility, clouds are broken, so the ceiling is broken at 3000. 4,100, it's 5 degrees, nice and chilly. Dew point of 0. QH 998. No significant change, so do that while I think about it. Not sure why that stopped. I was just using the mouse to rotate.
Anti-skid.
Can do that while I'm here.
Refueling is complete, Captain.
Checked.
Do you need anything else?
So you stopped refueling, there's a bit of a lag. We need 8438, we've got 8430, so get him to disconnect.
Okay, just one quick signature on here, and I'll be on
What,
my
41? Yeah, I suppose it has probably gone off about 30%. I haven't checked the fuel prices, not aviation fuel prices anyway. So we got 2799.8 litres. At 141. Which meant $3,946.31. It's a lot of cash.
Here's a copy for your records. Have a nice day.
Thanks, Fuel Dude. Thanks for the update. The ATIS. Or sorry, for the METAR, that's not an ATIS, is it? So anti-skid in test done.
Nose door.
He's getting out of the way, there's nobody else around.
Hydraulic 3A pump.
Switches down anyway.
Brake pressure.
So just waiting for brake pressure to come up. We're looking for 3000 psi, which we have. There we go.
Parking brake.
Set.
Nose door.
Let's go out and close that. And then turn off the pump. Turn off the fuel valves. So take the shock out at this point. Let's do those.
Hydraulic panel and pumps.
Check these are all working. Normal quantities, temperatures, and the pumps all work.
Electric panel.
So Gen 1, Gen 2 off,
AC DC utility switch.
comes on,
Start ignition panel.
all off.
Fuel panel.
Just go around the houses. I literally couldn't explain that quick, that check.
APU LCV.
Open,
10th stage isolation valve.
open.
Packs.
Cabin warmed up.
Air conditioning panel.
Easier to see here, normal. Ram air out, extinguished and guarded. Temperatures as required.
Pressurization panel.
So differential pressure is, of course, 0. Man out is centered, man rate is all the way anti-clockwise. And full light, both off. Emergency depress out, extinguished and guarded. What are we looking at for weather on arrival? Irritatingly, does it sync? Yes, it does. So runway 25, what are we looking at for pressure? 026. Might as well just do it this way. No, let's not do that. Do it on the standby. So 1026 gives us 3030, which is 246, somewhere like that. The elevation at Luton is 527 feet, which is something like that. Landing field elevation set, barrows set, and the pip rate, the rate pip is aligned with the rate knob pip aligned with the mark.
Bleed air panel.
Correct. So out, 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 and off, and then that should be out, in, out, which is the lit valley.
Supplemental ground wing anti-ice panel switch.
Is down here and is off.
Cal anti-ice switches.
So on, off, but we need to test them as well, so that's as required, I would say. These go in, we check there is no caution for left or right anti-ice, and then they come out.
Anti-ice panel.
So wing switches off, left and right heats are extinguished, left and right cals are out. Windshield test, 1, 2, 3, 4 green. Ice detect. Wing overheat.
Wing overheat.
And anti-ice test okay.
Wing overheat.
Emergency lights.
Are armed. We would have, of course. No. So, bottom one. Info message. Status message, sorry. Go and check that they come on. Turn them off. Get a caution. Arm them. It goes off.
Passenger signs.
On.
ELT.
Armed.
Glare shield panel.
Set. No, it isn't quite yet, is it? So let me just have a look at the departure. What have we got? The sim brief, as the app had an update as well. So all of these have, there is a speed restriction depending on the runway we take. It's max 205. So we'll set 200. The initial climb is 5,000, so I'll set that now.
Crew and passenger oxygen.
So we've got 1850 and check. Checked.
DCU warning panel.
Out extinguished and guarded.
CVR.
Push light comes on.
Audio panels.
So currently set at the moment with no monitoring. Mic to 2, so we can't hear anything. We'll switch that over. Stall protection is on that side, and the pusher is on this side.
SPS system.
So, stamp trim, way down. It's just the sim, you don't have to do all these checks if you don't want to. Flight controls we have, and we're going to do SPS test. Both indicators move to the red. Ignition A and B. We have got a stall shaker, stall pusher, key switch, and a disconnect. Pull down, forward stop, checked.
Integrated standby instrument.
Set that back, so 998.
Clock.
So UTC is set, flight is reset,
EFIS. ICAS.
checked,
Main landing gear bay overheat.
choose. So check the fail first. Check the overheat,
Gear bay overheat.
checked.
TOS warning switches.
They are out extinguished and guarded. And test.
Glide slope. Pull up. Wind shear. Wind shear.
Excellent.
Wind shear. Terrain. Terrain. Pull up.
Pitch and roll disconnects.
Are both stowed.
Ground spoilers.
Auto. Yep, I'm not testing them yet.
Thrust reversers.
The emergency stow is out. If it wasn't, it would look like that. Same there. Can't arm those.
Thrust levers.
Left full free correct, shut off. Right full free correct, shut off.
Engine speed switches.
Are both on.
Engine vibration check.
Goes up to 3.5, vib, and stops. Checked.
Oral warning.
Both work.
Smoke detector.
Smoke toilet, smoke baggage.
Smoke.
Checked.
Trims, mock trim.
So, stab trim, Mac trim. We have the stab tube in up, yes. Check for the clacker in both directions. Well, we've checked it in one. Check it from both sides. Co-pilot stab deter and stab and Mac trim. So, stab 2, Mac, channel 1. My disconnect works. So then we pop these in. No stab trim caution. Mac trim in. No Mac trim caution. Set the pitch for takeoff. Let's use 6. And I'm not going to check aileron and rudder because they take forever.
Yacht ampers.
Down here. 1, 2, caution's gone.
Reversionary inhibit switches.
So all these down here. So these are all out and these are all set. Norm or left 1.
IRS.
There you go. All nav.
CPDLC.
Not required. There's nobody online to talk to.
TCAS.
So what do I need to do here? I'm going to set 2000 for Europe. I'm going to set our call sign and get into the habit of doing this because I've been lazy. And then we're going to test. Anybody else watching, do say hi.
TCAS system test OK.
ATIS and clearance.
So TCAS was tested. ATIS we don't have. Weather we have. Clearance, we've looked at the departure and we're going to self-clear. So bearing in mind we have a wind of 300. Let's just have a look at the airfield. The closest is going to be 26. It looks like the others were departing off 26. So we're going to use that and that will be suitable for our departure, which is a 4 kilo. 26 and 4 kilo. Set the initial climb, set the initial speed. Got nothing else to do. Apart from load up our flight plan.
FMS flight plan. Wind update. Perf.
So here is our flight plan. Air and ground distance. We've got an air distance of 858 miles, 839. So if we're looking at just a flat ground distance, then that's pretty sensible. Bearing in mind we I don't think we have an arrival in here just yet. Anyway, we're talking a gross error check, and that's looking pretty sensible. Let's flick over to the correct page on my OFP. Eros 4 kilo, November 623 to BEDLA, November 866 to LAPSI, direct LONAM, direct LARDI, direct BINBO, AKOKO, November 866 to KUBAX, Zulu 150 to MEGEL, which takes us out to the north of Luton, and then MEGEL 1 November to the initial, I think that's the initial approach fix. Could be wrong. I did a little bit of route study. So the route's correct. Correct alternate, correct route, correct runway. Can activate that. While I think about it, I'll set the runway heading. Just 250. So flight plan, wind update, and then the perf. So do the perf first. I'll do M1 target for later because we know that we just approximate it. It's 5 degrees outside. We use full power. And let's tell them what we've got. 8 plus 1 extra crew. And that's going to give us a cargo of, let's say, 350 pounds. Check fuel at desk because it still thinks we've got that on board. No, we don't. Our alternate cruise is flight level 90. That was stupid. Because our actual cruise is flight level 400. Might be a little bit of a stretch to reach today, even if it is cold. We'll update the winds in a moment. Our final reserve fuel today is 889, so I'm happy with that. We're actually going to be going at 13.15. That gives us our destination at 15.19, which is about what I've got for the estimated. And fuel flow, it's about a 2-hour flight. The average fuel flow should be about £2,000 an hour. So again, gross error check that makes sense. Alternate's not far, then we end up with quite a lot of fuel. And that makes sense with how much, not only will we have overhead, but have on, that's actually the fuel on overhead. What I do need to do is wind update, send that through. Then we can start looking at our takeoff performance. So 300 at 15. 5 degrees, 998. Crosswind from the right. Sense. Slight headwind, still an 8,000 foot runway and about the same at the other end. We should be limited by airframe today. Comfortably using that. There is no intersection from this runway, so we're just going to go out, turn right, all the way down to the end. What does the departure say for obstacles? Required climb gradient of 6.6%, getting 8.7. That's to the top, so fine and happy. The MSA is 2200, going straight to Aros VOR. So those V-speeds through, and they have populated.
Takeoff data.
Just done.
Avionics and charts.
Should we get the charts up? We've got some time. So you can see where we are. 26 here, so we're going to go out, turn right, all the way to the end. Nice and easy, just watching for that hold point. Then I am going to remember how to use these. There's the departure. So we are on Aros 4 kilo, climb on 250, that's runway heading and set to Sierra Alpha 871, which is our initial waypoint. At or above 600, turn right to 861 and then to the VOR. Non-RNAV going to have no DME, well there is DME for the non-RNAV 265 track and then vectors to the VOR, a little bit odd. Stockholm when instructed, and I've really got no issues with that departure. We've talked about the climb gradient, achievable, easy peas. I don't think we need any other charts than that. Wish you guys could see what I'm looking at when I'm talking about it.
Flight instruments.
So, push toga, it's an RNAV departure, so I'm going to arm LNAV, ATS system. So, logical check. Is the airplane roughly level? Yes it is. 281 makes sense with our positioning where the runway is. We are set to FMS1 for initial nav, the first waypoint, 871 is set, and we've got the first restriction there above 600.
Hello, Captain. It's Jenny
Oh,
from
well, packs are
Hotspur
early.
Flight Support. Your passengers have arrived.
They are
Shall I
early.
have them brought to the plane?
Good thing we are too, so please do.
Understood. They'll be there in a couple of minutes. Anything else?
Nope, that is it.
Always a pleasure. Take care.
Thanks, Jenny. So, like I said, horizon level, and we're 280, which is sensible. FMS 1 for nav, 871 is our first waypoint. The initial heading is runway heading and is set. Takeoff speeds, V1 is 116, rotates 123, V2 is 132, and safety speed is 158. 200 is bugged, there are no speed restrictions, other than what I'm going to assume is 250 below 10,000, even though it is not explicitly stated. Left side flight director is selected. With takeoff, active modes, out select armed, and our top altitude set. But we will make that 5,000 once we get onto the runway. Altimeters 998 HPA and VSI 0. N1TO 88.9%.
Departure briefing.
We've discussed, unless anybody's got any questions.
Emergency procedures.
Not going to happen today. We've climbed to MSA. We either hold over the airfield and either come back to our runway or expect one of the other longer ones.
Pins, covers, chocks.
Pretty sure I've removed them all.
Cabin lights, water heaters, master seat.
That's a job for our crew member in the galley.
Flight compartment checklist complete. Engine start checklist next.
So, I've got to switch onto Unicom.
Engine start checklist. Doors.
And we're ready and waiting on the packs. So, a little bit rusty. Thanks for the Luton weather. Variable, yep, no cloud detected. 13, yeah, it's still a little bit fresh out. Lovely high pressure, but glorious sunshine. It's quite warm in the sun. Oh, looks like they're here. You have to excuse me for getting rid of the glass reflection, but that's the only way to get rid of the awful X-plane reflections at night.
Hello, Captain. How are you today?
I'm good.
That's great to hear. Well, we're all set back there, so we can get going anytime.
Passenger block figs when? well, I don't mind early, and you know what?
Closed.
They're paying.
Parking brake and pressure. Checked and set. Fuel quantity and balance.
So we're about 170 pounds. Let's just sort that out. It's 5 to taxi, etc.
Beacon.
So no one to call up, just checked.
On. Fuel boost pumps. On. Ignition.
I can't remember what we used last time. It's an even day, so
Armed.
let's use that.
Engine 2 start.
So let's. I've never done this with the headset. Seems we've got a bit of time. Oh, does it make any difference with the headset? Guess not. Thought I'd get a bit of chat. So, we've been cleared to start. We are ready to start. It is... Good question. What time is it? It's 12:52. So we'll start in 2. So what have we got? Oil pressure N2 20%, less than 120, M1's turning, fuel on, fuel flow's increasing, ITT's increasing, oil pressure is increasing. Got my hand on the throttle, ready to cut it
Fuel
off if
system.
we need to. Let it stabilise, which it has. Light's running, so we're looking for left low. Left and right pump, caution. Give us another ding, caution left low. Checked.
Engine 1 start.
So that's caution. Crossflow solenoid open. A little pressure, but it's cold. Sorry, high on the oil pressure because it's cold. So clear to start engine number 1. Start engine number 1. So oil pressure is increasing, M2's turning 20%, less than 120, M1's turning, fuel on, fuel flow is increasing, ITT is increasing, and oil pressure is increasing.
Engine start checklist complete. After start checklist, next.
Everything's settled down to 4, 6 for both engines.
After start checklist. Generator 1 and 2. On, checked AC and DC.
So
Ignition.
both running. Everything's running there.
Disarmed. Packs. On. 14th stage. Open. Cowl anti-ice. On, check 45 seconds. Flight controls.
So full forward, full aft, full left, full right, full left rudder, full right rudder, correct move, full free correct.
Ground spoilers.
So which way am I going? We're in auto. No idea. I wanted to go to disarm first, and there's no deployment. I go back to arm, nothing. Go forward, they deploy, go back to low, and they retract.
Flight spoilers.
Pull out. Half to half, stowed to stowed. Checked.
Cowl anti-ice.
Is on.
Supplemental ground wing anti-ice. Test on. Fuel balance.
Checked. Now we're 100 the other way. Bump. 400 pounds within.
Trims.
1, 2, 3 set for takeoff.
No steer.
Chocks are out. He's not got his headset on.
APR.
Test 1. Okay, test 2. Okay.
ADG unit.
mouse there, hold it, light goes out, it does.
Supplemental ground wing anti-ice.
Wait for that. Whilst we do that, I should probably read up on... I thought I had the supplementary procedures printed for winter. I did, I must have misplaced them. So, test OK.
Cal anti-ice.
Can go out.
Off. Wing anti-ice. Norm. 14-stage isolation valve.
Open. Out.
Wing anti-ice.
So, yellow N2, wing anti-ice on.
Checked. Off. ATS. N1 TO. ATC TCAS.
Should have put that on. That's what happens when you're not online.
TARA. After start checklist complete. Taxi checklist next.
So, to checks, where would I have put those? I have a little printed QRH. I have the altimeter setting, and I had definitely printed off a couple of A4 sheets with the winter brief on that I'm sure I wouldn't have thrown away. Seems we've got a little bit of time, I might as well fool them. But alas, they cannot be easily and quickly found. So what I wanted to do was just check what the anti-ice requirements were for 5 degrees. I have a feeling that wing anti-ice is meant to be on. I was sure I also had the tables printed for holdover times in varying levels of precipitation. But no matter.
Taxi checklist. Taxi lights. On. Wing and cowl anti-ice.
So I'm going to put all of that on, and then put it for departure.
Brakes and steering.
So clear left, clear right, we're going to be off blocks. Bang on time actually. With 8120 fuel on board. I'll add a traffic. Fraction 626 Foxtrot, taxiing, hold short, runway 26 from Apron Juliet via X-ray. I'll land a traffic. So there's the breakaway, brakes work. Left steering, of course in reality it's on a tiller, not the rudder pedals, just like how I'm using it. A bit of a join in the scenery there that needs a little patch. And right is available.
Reverse thrust.
Look out here on the taxiway. Don't know if you guys have noticed, but the mouse cursor doesn't disappear anymore. Nice bit of road scenery there. Doing a right hand turn onto X-ray. So reverse on number 2, checked. Stowed, checked, stowed.
If taxiing the de-ice, pause checklist here until a paper de-ice checklist is complete.
De-ice is not required.
Flaps. 20. Altimeters. Set and cross-check. Radar weather.
Doesn't work yet.
On. Takeoff briefing.
Left-hand seat takeoff. It's an RNAV departure. We have... sorry, I'm just getting my chart displayed, which... Here we go. Easy departure 600, then right to 861, and then direct to the VOR. The VOR is not tuned, so we could tune that. It'd be 112.8. Just to confirm our position, a bit quick speed there. Let's get a reverser out. And I'll have 116 tuned on nav2. And as we go uphill, stow the reverser. Still nothing online, so initial stop out.
Taxi checklist complete. Before takeoff checklist next.
So I can see the holding point just over here. There's no point us hanging about.
Before takeoff checklist. Passenger signs. Advised on. Anti-collision light. On. Probes. On. Windshield heat. On. Wing and cowl anti-ice.
So leave them on.
Continuous ignition. On. ATC TCAS. TARA. Supplemental ground wing anti-ice piano. Checked. CAS. Takeoff config OK.
It is.
Landing pulse recog lights. On. Before takeoff checklist complete. After
So
takeoff checklist next.
nothing seen, nothing heard. Somebody taxiing behind us, not talking. I'll add a traffic. Fraction 626 Foxtrot. Lining up, taking off runway 26. Aros 4 kilo departure. I'll land a traffic.
Approaching
we're going to be departing at
26.
06, I guess. A little bit quick on the turn.
On runway 26.
Correct runway. Maybe not quite 06. Checked. Get a little bit of a bump coming down here.
V1. Rotate. Positive rate. Gear up.
Feels a little bit gusty. So there's positive rate. Flaps up.
After takeoff checklist. Landing gear. Up. Flaps. 0. Thrust reversers. Off. Ignition. Off. Pressurization. Checked. PAX transition.
He's doing that. I can.
Completed. N1. Climb set. APU generator. Off. APU. Shut down. Passenger sides.
We'll leave them on for the moment.
CAS.
Checked. We have an ACARS message and anti-ice is on.
After takeoff checklist complete.
So let's set 10. And we are heading direct to Sierra Alpha 861. Comfortably above MSA. The pitch angle doesn't look too bad. Maybe we can lower it a little bit. Just for comfort in the back. See if we've got bags of reserve thrust. And we are climbing to a flight level, so we'll set standard. So overhead Sierra Alpha 861. Should be a 256 track. What do we reckon? 2, 3, 4, 5. 6 degrees. Oh, look at that. Wonderful guesstimate. So, turbulence in the cloud. This will pop through. So, 1,000 to go. 200 next. Passing 10 will go up to 300 knots for the climb. Lights could come off, pressurization check. We have a cabin rate of 300 feet climb a minute. It's currently at 1000, delta P is 4.2. Set some pressurizing. Keep the seatbelt sign on as we keep going up in this clag. There we are, climbing quite nicely, smoothly, comfortably, with some thrust reserve. Take the wing heater. I suppose one thing I didn't mention was that there is a beta available for the X-Plane update, so I haven't updated X-Plane because the 650 beta, 1.9 beta 4 at the moment, I have not tried that. I don't particularly want to risk it just yet. Fuse is working on it, and then the TBM will be out at some point, so that'll be fun. There we are, punching through. That's nice on a cloudy and miserable day to get up top into the sunshine. So enough pressurization check at 200. Keep going all the way up to 400. By the time I've reconfigured. And look at the lighting. You do actually need those lights on bright as you get above the clouds. So pressurization, cabin out's 2,400, climbing at 500 a minute, delta P's at 6.8. So still. The lighting really does make a difference. Having all this hassle to deal with. So not that I use these, it doesn't really matter. Crosstalk fail. It's interesting. IRS 3, have we got some jamming? No. Did I accidentally touch something? Yes, I did. There we go. Managed to hit that. Easily done. So, overhead the VOR. Fly the jet before we figure this out. What's wrong with RS3? RS3. Arrows VOR. And the time is 13:14. We are 8 minutes early. What time did I say we took off at? On target for fuel, we've got 1306, which was 9 minutes early. So, what have we got? No cautions. V-speed, V-speed. Message. Because I can't maintain it, that's right. So, flight level change. Let's get the aeroplane climbing. So that was an easy distraction. Let's see what happens when you're rusty. So full power climb we have. The aeroplane's sorting itself out. Let's go. Here we go. Turbine tape. BEDLA, that was a pretty short leg. So 7 minutes ahead, that was a bit of a steep turn. and climbing again. So, I don't have a QRH handy. Yeah. So, I think I am limited by what the virtual airline routes are. I'll see if it's on there. Well, it seems the weather was so nice, I've been to Luton's shiny new runway. So we're going to go map changeover at this point. .78 for the climb. So FMS3, I managed to hit MFD reversion. That shouldn't have changed anything, should it? There we go, look, left IRS alternate, so I managed to hit that and that whilst rotating. So there we go, left IRS. I don't know what the V-speed flag is. Is it because they've been deleted? This isn't vertical speed, it's V-speeds. So they've been deleted, potentially. Why would that be an issue? Can't send them back through. No, I haven't got them set, but we are a long way off arriving. Maybe it's because they were set. Yeah, it's tiny as well, isn't it? I think they get the BA of let's check GA. Let the packs out their seats. A little bit of X-plane weather jumping there. So let's see if we can find anything online. Yeah, anybody else has got the QRH handy, that would be grand. So manually to clear the flag, let's have a look at refs then. Just found. Yes. Yeah, the beta's in testing, so 1.9 will be suitable for whatever the last X-Plane update was that broke something. Oh, there we go, so VT just stayed there. There you go, problem solved. Days. And we're struggling with this climb, so I thought we might. Still climbing, still struggling. So that's a bit of a long and is it a long moving trip? An hour and 40 to Luton. At least it's starting to look at the charts. No, I can't because I need to swap it over. So I think we were to expect. We just have. Oh, that's going to be a pain, isn't it? So this one, you can see here. Guess this to Zagzo, which is as a whole is approach fix. I don't think the Luton NDB has been working for a while. I always see it no tapped US. So, plenty of places that we can hold. We are arriving from MEGEL at 220. we go. VNav's on and plan active. Let's see if that punches up when it gets there. Might as well do days eliminators here. Oh, they've gone offline. Struggling to climb. All cleared. So we'll just go back to weather, shall we? What I want to do is put in the arrival QNH, which I think sim is 1028, something like that, as a gross error. Gross error prevention strategy. Zero 025. Done and set before top of climb. So quite a few bugs with the new X-Plane changes by the looks of things. Looking on Discord, lots of issues creeping up. Oh, there's a beta 5. Maybe our position does look a little bit odd. Oh no, it won't because I haven't updated, but views may change due to a moved CG. I can't believe that X-Plane would. I really can't believe that. I still don't understand why views are tied to something that can move. Never mind. I can understand setting it to the data. I just don't know why you fix it to the model. Really odd. Very odd choice. I'm sure there's a reason. I certainly can't think of it. So here we are, flight level 400, took a while to get there, taken a while to accelerate. We are cooking on gas. 97.5, 4. Climb, once we get to 80, we're almost there. Backing back to cruise. But as you can see, we kind of need the extra performance with X-Plane's weather climbing and descending us. Looks like it's the wind changing ever so slightly. Oh look, there we go, accelerating wildly. I think Lambda are having trouble bottoming this bug out, which is odd. There you go. Ridiculous climb. So Copenhagen is on, Norway's on. We're not going to venture into their airspace. When I say Copenhagen, I mean approach rather than centre. Let's have a look online at the VATSIM map. We're not too far from the border. Smattering of stuff going on in London. Of course London City's online. Why wouldn't it be? Very rare. Very rare is it that London City's online. Southend's online as well. Could have gone there. But Luton is not. The city's nice when it's controlled. I did think about going into London City. I thought, well, we haven't been to Luton for a while, and we can't technically get this in there. 800 foot minute descent, wonderful. Let's set N1 to cruise. We're just sitting for the ride. So what are we going up to? The coast. We've just gone over controlled Gothenburg? Göteborg. I'll stop talking before I offend every nationality we fly over. Thames and Heathrow, yeah. Thames is, I want to say, relatively rarely online, but it's nice when it is, because the approaches into London City are pretty good. So why is that speed bouncing around? You can see the gas bouncing around a bit turbulence, which just looks like it's the wind's changing by a knot or two. We jet it down. So feel free to say anything in chat, because I can't say that I've got a huge amount to talk about, apart from the approach, which we're going to do in an hour and a half or so. And maybe try and figure out, well no, I mean I can't figure out this. Explain atmosphere bouncing around all over the place. So, we're going MEGEL offers. Strange things. So, very much like the old Stansted arrivals. I do wonder if they're still shared. They did used to be, but I think these look a little bit further out. That should be a 25-mile MSA circle. So, don't know. Well, 1,600 feet per minute descent. Wonderful. Thanks, X-Plane. Wonder if that's fixed in the new version. So what we could do is put the Luton NDB of 345 in. Of course, pick it up yet, but it is there. The haze is good though. Clear above, easy below. And all they did was add some accurate maths to the sim. So, let's have a look at these approaches. Did I say we had the weather? 180 at 7. So, 180 with a runway at 25 is velocity 140 to 230. The thing is, it's coming to 170, which still favours 25. I think it's fair to expect 25. So, let's have a look at the arrivals for 25. There's an interestingly jank arrival, which must deconflict with the arrivals going in Stansted. So, let's see if I can get this sensible. We'll put the final approach, so difference between these two. Cat 1 and Cat 2 versus this one is just a CDFA Cat 1, so severe KUBAX, pick that. And then this one. Look at this for an arrival. Transition. So I think the Stansted arrivals must, do they come in like this way and then go out? I don't know, why would you have this here? Is this a point merge? Is that an attempt at a point merge to give you what, an extra almost 10 track miles? So 6 down to 5 with a speed restriction. 5 miles to do 2,000 feet. It's a bit spicy. And then that takes us in there. I don't think we'll arrive via Abbott, and we'll do the full arrival if we if there's no ATC. Worry is then as directed for the approach. You'll have to do your own thing. Can't come in via Abbott. Probably won't. So 1320. Seven across 125. Easy. So 1807. Variable between 140 and 330. 10k. No cloud detected because it's automatic report. Temperature 104. Go out for a dew point. 0. QH 1025. And looking to be 0010. Calming down. Pretty constant. 30 tempo. A little bit missed. Used fizz. Anyway, enjoy the view outside. So we are into Copenhagen Centre, but I haven't had a ping yet, so they must have just come online. 136555. There it is. And this is Copenhagen Control. Copenhagen Control, good afternoon. Fraction 626 Foxtrot, flight level 400, direct to LONAM.
Good afternoon, Fraction 626 Foxtrot, Copenhagen, squawk 4732.
Squawk 4732, Fraction 626 Foxtrot.
Copenhagen Control, Ryanair 7675, flight level 300, direct to Alhassa. Ryanair 7675, Copenhagen, hello, set correction, please send a flight plan. Sorry, say again, squawk. You need to send a flight plan if you need to have a squawk. Okay, sorry. Fraction 626 Foxtrot identified.
Great.
Copenhagen Control, good afternoon. With a 145 at level 370, direct to Alpha Lima.
Hold.
7145, Copenhagen, good afternoon, identified. Proceed direct to Alhassa. Direct to Alhassa with the 145. Copenhagen Control, good day. This is Link 24 west of Ballon, flight level 360. Link 24, Copenhagen, good afternoon, squawk 7011. 7011, Link 24. Control, can you have a 6903 now descending flight level 170. Skyber 693 Copenhagen, hello. Contact Copenhagen approach 119.805. Contact approach 119.805. Can you have a 693 today? Good day. for good day. Northfly 6 Papa Charlie with you, flight level T250, climbing 350. Good afternoon, Northfly 6 Papa Charlie, Copenhagen identified. Climb flight level 340 direct to PIV. Climb flight level 340 and direct please again. Direct to PIV. Papa Echo Victor Echo Bravo. Direct PIV for Northfly 6 for Charlie, thank you. Link 2 for Copenhagen identified. Hotel 145, are you inbound Alasa, Alpha Lima, Alpha Sierra? First, sorry, we didn't hear, dual Wizard 145, could you repeat? Wizard 145, confirm direct Alasa, Alpha Lima, Alpha Sierra, Alpha. Direct Alasa, Alpha Lima, Alpha Sierra. Could you repeat for Wizard 145? Sorry. That's correct, Alpha Lima, Alpha Sierra, Alpha. Direct Alasa, Wizard 145.
I think you can see why CPU DLC is so common.
Good afternoon, Northfly 4417 Copenhagen, scope 4671. Scope 4671, Copenhagen, good day, Orange 47 Lima, flight level 340, flight BP. Good afternoon, Orange 47 Lima, Copenhagen, scope 1000. 1047 Lima. Northfly 6 Papa Charlie, climb flight level 360. Climb flight level 360, Northfly 6 Papa Charlie. Northfly 4417, identify direct ECOS, when ready, descend flight level 230. Direct ECOS, when ready, descend flight 230. Northfly 4417, when ready, flight level 230. Correction, flight level 230, when ready. Alright, 47 Lima, identified CPDLS. Hello, Nordic 406 Copenhagen, identified direct PBX. Direct PBX. Nordic 406.
So if you're watching, do say something. Ask any questions. Ooh, who have we got out here? A bit of traffic. It's nice. Can you see who it is? Yep. Maybe a Neuchâtel. Neuchâtel 406. Yes, it is. So we climbed that much. Great. Thanks, Explain. Yeah. look how many people are going into Luton. 4 departures, 4 arrivals, not many. So I do wonder if controllers, if they've got more than one airport they can cover, if they have a look and if they look at the traffic to see what might interest them. Certainly makes sense. So that all shuttles 5,000 below us. Somewhere out to about 1 o'clock. Or 30. Or 40 miles, 4,000 below. It looks like they're crossing left to right as well, but it's difficult to tell. Online traffic would give us a bit of background noise, but it's not a very busy sector.
Opening control, hello, this is beeline 1015 at flight level 350 inbound LCOP. Good afternoon, beeline 1015, opening again, squawk 4357. Squawk 4357, beeline 1015. No flight 4417, no further ATC, frequency change approved, goodbye. Nordic 77, Charlie, opening hello, squawk 4262. Link 24, contact Polaris 131.665. Polaris 31665, happy Eastern by. Happy Eastern by. Nordic 406, contact Polaris 131.665, hi.
Sorry about any noise on the mic there. The mute on the headset seems to introduce a bit of noise.
Nordic
Which is
77 Yankee identified.
Hello, VLAN 9 Foxtrot Lima, flight level 350.
Hello, good afternoon, VLAN 9 Foxtrot Lima, Copenhagen, Squawk 1000.
Squawk 1000, VLAN 9 Foxtrot Lima. Copenhagen, hello, skid with 66 Papa, descending through 376 for 370.
Skid 66 Papa, Copenhagen, good afternoon, identify, roger. Maintain flight level 370 and direct Torva.
370 direct Torva, skid with 66 Papa.
VLAN 9 Foxtrot Lima identified, maintain flight level 350.
Maintaining 350, direct Torva, VLAN 9 Foxtrot Lima.
Yeah, I mean the Germans are always seem to be pretty mad keen on the flight simming, if you ask me. Well, maybe it isn't the Germans, maybe it's people going to and from Germany. But I mean, the ATC is always relatively busy, even during the week of an evening. I mean, I'll probably be doing a little bit more evening flying. I don't mind flying at night in the sim. It's just a little bit more, I don't know, there's sort of less to see. I think it's visually better during the day and a bit more fun. I haven't done any real night flying for quite a while either, so I do need to get current in that again, but night flying in reality is somewhat terrifying in single engine. I say terrifying, but just aim for the black bits and hope, unless there's a full moon. And it's also a lot more difficult in the UK to find places that have lights compared to the US, which is why the US private license includes a night rating component, because you're almost guaranteed to be able to fly at night in the States, which is handy. But it's certainly a lot nicer to look at in the sim or during the day, especially when you've got weather like this, which is it's almost exactly what I was expecting in reality, a sort of a reduced visibility or haze layer below the cloud, and then above it unlimited viz, which X-Plane seems to have nailed. Again, it might just be the math, but hey, it's taken this long for anybody to do it. So I will hopefully be doing some evening trips as it will be daylight. I did say before that I'd like to, in the winter in the UK, do streams from the US, maybe get into Pilot Edge, but I still haven't got around to doing that. And that would solve the day-night paradox that we have. I mean, the X-Plane looks, I think X-Plane looks all right at night. The lighting is still a bit, and of course there were the major performance issues. Look at that, lovely, 3,000 feet per minute down. Great, thanks X-Plane. So I think this is beeline 1015 on our left, just left of our track.
Copenhagen, Scandinavian 66 Papa request.
The lighting to me just seems.
We're in contact with the beeline right behind us, and he's on a tight schedule today.
Oh, great.
I'd like to land in front of us if that's possible. Do you have any objections if we reduce to Mach 0.7 or something for a little while?
Scandinavian 66 Papa, Mach at your own discretion.
Perfect, thank you so much.
He's on a tight schedule and going to where we've just come from with his buddy. Hey, I mean, shared cockpit is the way, but that's a challenging thing. So yeah, I'd like to see X-Plane night lighting get a bit better. there's lots of point lights, which certainly in my experience, you seem to only notice at lower altitudes, and they don't. These point lights go point up. Many lights now don't necessarily do that. Especially street lighting is angled down, so you get the spill lighting off of it. I don't know how you'd bake that in from a performance perspective, because of course a spill light is a bit more difficult. I imagine it's more computationally expensive to display than just a point light. But GPUs are pretty powerful, so if you could offload that to the GPU, maybe it would work. And then it'll be fun getting into the TBM, which would be a wonderful aeroplane to have in reality. Sorry, that's just me moving my headset. The TBM would be quite good fun. Single pilot, high performance, very quick, good range that certainly would outrun my bladder. At least this jet's got a toilet.
Scandinavian 7 Whiskey Bravo, Copenhagen. Scandinavian 7 Whiskey Bravo, you need to call ATC, not just check in on CPDLC. Identified level 370 on CPDLC. Cleared lobby for Sierra arrival landing runway 21. Cleared lobby for Sierra 21, positive. No, CPDLC.
Sometimes the clouds still look a bit quirky. Some straight lines there that definitely look out of place. The rest of it though looks really good. I mean, 20 years ago volumetric clouds was a big thing. Be interesting to see and compare compared to back in the day. We always want better. But in fairness, this is the best jet there is. Maybe if it had been something else, that may have sold a bit better. Something like a global. But it will lead to the A220, which will be interesting. I'm sure the TBM will keep me busy.
Hello, good afternoon. In Finnair F9 Papa Foxtrot Copenhagen identified. Proceed direct Alami. Proceed direct Alami. Papa Foxtrot.
So I think I'd like to see the TBM just as a something that is manageable single pilot rather than this is of course definitely not a single pilot machine. I quite like the capability of the Phenom, but the modelling, you know, once you've been blessed with this aeroplane, it's just not quite the same. Although a fun and capable little jet, I think the best thing in sim would be the is it PC-24, the Pilatus? That would be great, just because you could use it on grass. I know people don't fly on grass in sim, but in reality, to be able to get a jet onto a grass airfield is quite impressive. Summer only, but I think I remember seeing one of them at Goodwood, which is not the biggest of airfields. So to be able to get it in and out of there is quite impressive. But the TBM or any sort of single turbo prop are pretty impressive.
Good afternoon, Skyline 87 Yankee Copenhagen, squawk 1000. Squawk 1000, 87 Yankee. Lobby for Sierra runway 2, Skyline 87 Yankee. Good afternoon, Red Nose 3516, Climate 3120, Tosca. Good afternoon, Red Nose 3516, Copenhagen identified, climb flight level 380. Alpha 380, Red Nose 3516. Fraction 626 Foxtrot Alpha ATC frequency change approved by.
Switch to Unicom, thanks very much for the service. Fraction 626 Foxtrot, bye bye. Da 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 da. No one to talk to. And 55 minutes to go. 12 minutes to LONAM. And then we're back on an airway for a little bit. Let's have a look and see. So LONAM is actually the London FIR boundary. So we've just crossed into Amsterdam. There is a waypoint just nearby, Greffy. So I'm surprised that SimBrief didn't give us that. I did check it was a Eurocontrol validated route. So the big computer in Maastricht did some working out for me. We went over Aalborg and could have used that. So it was a pretty long direct that didn't end at a boundary, even though we went over one. And then just great circled it, which, I mean, certainly makes sense from a fuel efficiency perspective. These detours would not have been big, and I'm surprised that the big computer actually allowed that direct to happen. So maybe they've got rid of some of the silly rules, but I certainly would have expected to have to mandatory report crossing an FIR boundary, but whatevs. So the MEGEL arrival takes us over Cambridge, to the south of Mildenhall and Lakenheath, which will be, of course, particularly busy at the moment. In reality, not in the sim. And then we thread our way into the arrivals for Luton. So, what's happening on the Discord? So less than 20 minutes to top a descent. Got the chart set up. Got some clouds on the horizon. Lezel. Where's that? Or did you just type the wrong place? It's probably a good point to check the weather again, isn't it? Let's have a look, see if there is any ATC. There is not. Eight arrivals. This could get interesting. Oh, well then, although there's only me in the air by the looks of things. Oop. Oh, so I don't pay for VATScope, but what's really interesting is you can now see when things are arriving. Which is pretty cool. Let's see, is that 1 hour from now? No. Yes. Anyway, there's a timeline that shows when things are arriving, so relatively quiet when we get there. I mean, the data's all there. It's just a case of grabbing it and visualizing it, isn't it? So, what is this? 1420, and we've got 1707. Still variable. 220. I mean, that's a real big old swing, isn't it? I might have a look and see what's going on in reality. Still 14 degrees. Let's have a look. So, what are they going to prefer? Does Luton prefer easterlies? I think you've got to backtrack whatever you do, don't you? Or do you? Have they... Oh no, there's a tiny backtrack. So, Alpha must be a new taxiway. I mean, Luton's a terrible airport for reality, isn't it? Very, very old school layout. Let's have a look on flight radar. But I always remember that 07 had a longer backtrack at the end. And even the flight radar doesn't show the new taxiway, so we'll explain how the new taxiway. It's not going to affect me because we're going to be rolling to the end, but it sure looks like 25 is in use. Be interesting to see the terrain slope as well. I haven't experimented with editing any of the terrain yet, but it sure is possible. So let's have a wee look at the arrival. So up here we have got tick tick there. So departure MEGEL 1 November. There it is. We'll follow the descent plan, and we will do ILS-25 with that transition. Shouldn't change anything, so we'll go through these. Not fussed with any of these, but 220, yes. Then we're looking for off-jets 250 and 140, which we've got. KUBAX 220, Zagzo, Max 220. I think we'll have some capabilities to slow from there, so 220 is fine. Then just about to see it here. Mandatory 180. So we'll clean that up. Fit me. Now was fit me. Fit me is 10.7. Is it? Right, so that's 3,000 above. Fine. Hopefully it won't go too janky when we get to the final approach fix. 7.7. Anyway, that looks like happy for an approach. cope with that unless anybody comes online. So 220. Somebody else following us in. So what are we going to do for VNAV?
Descent checklist. Shoulder harness.
I am going to pop to the toilet during the descent.
Passenger signs.
Auto.
Pressurization.
So what do we say, about 500 feet? Yes.
Fuel quantity and balance.
Both almost perfect, but not quite. 50 pounds.
FMS landing data charts.
So VNAV, that's what we're going to do. That's fine. And what did I say? We were 1025. Transition level is... I don't know. Let's have a look. So the altitude is 6,000 because it's the London TMA. 6,000 gives us 70. Set checked.
Approach briefing.
We have discussed, we'll discuss it a little bit closer. The minimums are 840. And of course I can't set them myself because I'm on the other side. Checked, set, straight in landing, 3 degrees. Normally expect to be radar vector to final. Well, we'll take the long way round. There's our top of descent. Let's see what the aeroplane does. It's commanded 78. See how VNAV does as well.
VNAV transition flight level.
Done.
Descent checklist complete. In range checklist next.
Yeah, I can imagine X-Plane would have the rule for that. Right, quick toilet break. Right, I'm back. Nothing worse than ending up in the hole and needing the toilet. So, our green banana, looks like we're on track. No one to talk to. Heathrow, Thames, they've been on a while, haven't they? An hour or two. Guess everybody's out having fun in the real world. Studying, their exams coming up, middle of half term. And a lot of controllers are relatively young. So, yes. It's a DME only procedure. The critical nav aid is Dover. So if Dover is... Now it's interesting that you don't see what the nav aid's always based on. MSA is 2000 to the north, 2100 to the southeast, and 2200 around the Luton NDB. We could put that in, if I remember how. It's always good practice. And I don't, as you can see. It's not in the book. DME GPS 1 RS5. Fix, that's where it is. Does runway 25 work? So 7.7 DME is our now. Is Luton? No, it's not listed as a marker. Oh no. Well, it's a locator. So is it an outer marker? That would be interesting to see. I wonder if X-Plane models it as an outer. And that is at 4 miles. 3.9 actually. Yep, still 1420, so I've got the latest. I'll put a small wager that somebody will come online just as I'm approaching. There you go, VNAV changes over nicely to 300, so that keeps the speed up better than I can do manually. So, out cap, out select and path. Above path, let's go flight level chain. Should have caught that just before. Go down to 140. V-path, yes please. A little bit messy, not paying attention. So that's us overhead, MEGEL. We have Watersham out 30, 40 miles ahead. Still no one line that I can see. So we just had a, what is that update with the navigation scale narrows. We've just gone from one route to approach for 1 mile. There we go, that's looking pretty realistic with the haze. Airplane's behaving nicely. So what are we looking at for 33.3 for arrival? Roll to target. Gets us nice and low on the pressure altitude. 6,000 feet runway, let's have a look. No, that's because of a slightly displaced threshold. So 25, 6824. Yep, fine, close enough. 33.3, half the beast. 124 plus 5 gives us 129. Ref stands minimum done. 4,200 feet, so 2/3 of the runway factored. There's no restrictions. Missed. So, are we going to start slowing? And we're in right, interesting. Put those on then. Really don't think it's raining in the UK right now. So, have we got any traffic about? Let's have a look. Still raining. This takes us properly over East Anglia, doesn't it? So the airplane started slowing. Oh, we're going the long way around, so we've got a little bit of time. You can see just how far out to the north these approaches take us. 1,000 to go, and our next restriction is flight level 80. Fields don't look terrible. Default scenery, the shadows are great. I don't know, there's something just not quite natural about it. Doesn't look repeated, but something. A bit of heli action. So 250. field out there, still in rain, ridiculous. No. That out there. Oh, I should know that. Looks like Duxford. Curvy hangar. There a few times. Great day out. So where's this covered in trees? That looks like buildings from further away. Wonderful weather update there. Still looks like it's no longer raining. So, Chimsey, and then right turn back to Zaxo. Luton traffic, fraction 626 Foxtrot, Challenger 650, passing flight level 115, descending flight level 80, inbound MEGEL 1 November for the ILS runway 25, Luton traffic. Right, so we're slowing for the next restriction. How are we doing? Traffic wise. VATSIM, I can hear absolutely nobody talking. So, seatbelts on. Made the restriction, which is nice. Course reversal. Is there? Oh, there's meant to be, so... So, Zaxo, now is that correct? Let's go back to Zaxo. Oh no, we do. did I manage to take this out? Right, no, this is fine. Overhead, then Zagzo. They're not overlaid. Pop the lights on. So I think we shortcut this if there's nobody about. We're going from X220, so manually step in.
In range checklist. APU. Started. Altimeters.
Not yet. So once we get to effort, then we can descend. So, go in 30 and then straight to 17. So jumps in, then a right turn. Luton traffic, fraction 626 Foxtrot. Overhead, Jumsy, inbound, ILS 25, ETE 10 minutes. Luton traffic. So 220, flight level 80. So we're just about going to make that. VNAV seems to be struggling. We do have a level segment. So we'll keep the speed up. Seems to have gone a little bit janky here. So what's this instruction? 148 track. Okay, maybe not. I will shut up. Overhead. Don't know, maybe we could just go direct. Seems like a bit messy. Messy way to do it. trees that looks just a little bit weird, lack of shadow. Must be that, mustn't it? Looks somewhat odd. Maybe they're just a bit too prominent. Full 0 at 10. So next restriction is 6,000, then down to 5. That'll take us down to an altitude. So it's going to be a bit steep when we hit this.
Reset, cross-checked. Avionics.
Checked.
External lights. On. N1 target. Set. APU PAX transition. Avail completed. APU generator. On. CAS.
Checked and clear.
In range checklist complete. Before landing checklist next.
Luton traffic fraction 626 Foxtrot overhead Golf Whiskey November 30 inbound ILS runway 25 Luton traffic. Captured at 6 and slowing, which I'm happy with. Mandatory 6 and then a mandatory 5. Coming back on path. So we'll take flap, just because I think we're going to have to get down in a minute. Off captured. Now, do we get up tuned? So it's 253 if I need it. 1015 is tuned and set. We have captured. Now we need to go down to 3. So that looked like it would be quite steep. Banging it in. So that says above 3, so a rush. Quite a turn, so we will let... I'll now fly this. And just VS to finesse. Luton traffic fraction 626 Foxtrot. Overhead fit me inbound ILS runway 25 Luton traffic. Most certainly gone all over the place. That was less than ideal. Is that the helicopter ahead of us? Yep. Happy. Can't see it. And of course I have an hard approach. Andrew was getting distracted there. Let's get the gear down.
2500.
That's spurious indication, someone on the ground. There we go. Captured. 5 miles and 160, back to being comfortable. Luton traffic, fraction 626 Foxtrot, 5 mile final ILS 25, Luton traffic.
Before landing checklist. Landing gear lever. Down indicating. Nose steer. Arm centered clear. Anti-skid. Armed tested. Passenger signs. On. Wing cowl anti-ice.
Not required.
Continuous ignition. On. Thrust reversers.
Feels a little bit bouncy.
Armed. Spoilers. Stowed auto. Flaps. Set. CAS.
Checked.
Before landing checklist complete. After landing checklist next.
So, with it being gusty, I'm going to add just a couple of knots. Ample performance.
Approaching 25.
So, just trying to keep pitch relatively constant. A little bit high, of
500. Approaching minimums.
Oh, that looks like a go around.
Minimums.
Unstable. Unstable.
Positive rate. Go around thrust set. Set go around thrust.
Fractured.
Gear up indicate.
66
Flaps 20 indicate.
I have no idea what he said.
Flaps 20.
So the Mister's 3. Ample thruster performance.
Gear up. Set FMS now. Set FLC 200 knots.
There we go. Autopilot's on.
Ready for immediate return checklist.
Laps are still 20. Bring those up.
Immediate return checklist. Pressurization. Set. Altimeters. Set cross-checked. Thrust reversers.
ATS was
Armed.
not armed, of course.
Landing data.
Do that in a moment. So I don't think landing data is going to change. So we have vectors. Should we get back to the holder loop? Yes, why did that not work? Loop traffic fraction 626 Foxtrot entering the hold. Loop. I'm gonna have to fly this raw data. So 253 right turns. There's not a direct entry. Or is it? Yeah, what are we? Miles away. So we'll do one lap, get set up and go back round. So we will be 073. Expect a couple of knots of drift. Interesting. 10 DME. It's turning and entering hold. So, what did you say that we've gone to 1.010? So that is now giving us a tailwind. Switch. Let's have a look. Reality, they're still on 2.5. Try 2.5 another small, comfortably in the hold. Speed's no change. Performance. Something like that, I didn't update that. That's a big difference. No, it isn't. 1 knot. So they have sent. And we exit the hold. I don't want it just yet. Luton traffic fraction 626 Foxtrot overhead Luton NDB. Beacon outbound ILS 25 Luton traffic. So 073 turning.
Approach briefing.
Discussed same approach as before, intercepting at about 10 miles.
Fuel quantity and balance.
Fine.
CAS.
Checked.
Immediate return checklist complete. Before landing, checklist next.
See, it looks pretty good when you get close. So same old, we're just going to be going out to 10 DME, X210. That's right, 76. Heading, and what time do I do this? So we're looking for 10 DME. That should comfortably keep us at 3. There's the glide slope going through us. There's 10 DME.
No traffic easy 728 Alpha pushing back from stand 7 facing to the north with departing runway 25.
253. 223 will us. Which is armed. Lit traffic. Action 626 Foxtrot. 10 mile final IS-25. And I managed to arm that too soon. Let's get back to heading.
Traffic running 3842, taxi to holding by runway 1 bar Bravo and hotel. That's traffic.
Oh, just about coming with an overshoot. See the traffic out to our left, that's 500 foot above and descending.
Before landing checklist. Landing gear lever. Down indicating. Nose steer. Arm centered clear. Anti-skid. Armed tested. Passenger signs. On. Wing cowl anti-ice.
Not required.
Continuous ignition. On. Thrust reversers. Armed. Spoilers. Stowed auto. Flaps.
Holding on the landing flap. traffic, fraction 626 Foxtrot, 5 mile final ILS 25 within traffic. That speed dropped off pretty quick there.
Set. CAS.
Checked.
Before landing checklist complete. After landing checklist next.
Wild gusts. Relatively confident that is not happening in reality. So there's variable winds throwing X-plane all over the place.
1,000.
So the missed altitude is set. Already had a practice of it.
Approaching 2-5.
About time to disconnect just as it was going a bit.
Approaching minimum. Minimums.
Continue. Bit of a dirty dive here. It's almost as bad as last time.
100. 50, 40, 30, 20. 10.
1,500 meters remaining.
There's 60 but no call out. Weather pumps off. Whoa, 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 whoa. Just hit something. Must have tapped on the ATS.
After landing checklist. Landing pulse recog lights. Off. Anti-collision lights. Off. Continuous ignition. Off. Windshield heat. Off. Probes. Off. Wing anti-ice. Off. Cowl anti-ice.
Is off.
Spoilers. Stowed. Flaps. 0.
Fraction 66
ATC
Foxtrot.
TCAS.
Runway vacated, lit traffic.
Alt on. Radar mode. Standby. After landing checklist complete. Engine shutdown checklist next.
Now, I have a feeling that we put out here. So let's go for a little tour of the airport. No, these are too big. The Harrods hangar. Do you think we can go to the Harrods hangar? Alright, signature is
No traffic
the other way.
728 Alpha, backtracking and departing runway 25.
So let's go back the other way.
Hot start flight support. Jenny speaking. How can we help?
Let's get a van.
Understood. We'll have that ready for you. Anything else? Always a pleasure. Take care.
So stand 54 area, I think is where we're going to actually be going. So let's do a little UE round here. Oh no, too, let's go on a little tour. Big old newsstand here. They have the space at Luton. Just exploring the airport. Why don't we go all the way around?
Luton traffic easy 728 Alpha departing 252 north.
This de-icing doesn't seem big enough. Run-up bay. Don't really know what goes on at Luton anymore. Somebody's put some effort into the scenery, which is nice. So we don't want to go to the cargo apron. Left. So tug release points here. Heading down opposite stand 3 to the FBO. Building just to the left. We've had a wonderful tour of Luton. I'm sure the flow would be the other way round. It is on a hill, isn't it? That's us on stand at 15:39.
Engine shutdown checklist. Taxi lights. Off. Parking brake. Set. Reverse thrust. Stowed. Generators 1 and 2. Off. Engine 2 shut down. Fuel boost pumps.
So why weren't they on?
Off. Fuel system.
Did the immediate return check?
Engine 1 shut down. Check ITT below 350 degrees Celsius.
Checked.
Anti-ice. Off. 14th stage. Off. Beacon. Off. No steer. Off. ATC TCAS. Standby 0. Parking brake if chocked.
Yeah, it wasn't a terrible landing, but that approach was an unnecessary challenge. Again, I think it's just explained with the variable winds. Parking brakes off.
Passenger signs. Off. Cabin differential. 0 psi. Engine shutdown checklist complete. Securing checklist next.
The airport taxi's here. Thank you, Captain. Great flight as always. Well, I'll see you next time.
It's me getting stuck walking around.
Nose door. Nose door.
Secure and checklist. Emergency lights.
Yeah, off.
AC/DC utility switch. Headsets. Thrust reversers. Chocks.
They're in.
Parking brake.
Is off.
Hydraulic pumps.
Off.
Nav lights, logo light.
Navs can stay on, logos off.
APU generator.
Get to those in a minute. So, 2890 we reckon. So 1306 was what I had. 1532. A little bit late. Just because of the go around. So, shut down. So, generator.
APU start stop. PAX. LCV. 10th stage isolation valve. APU power fuel. ICAS APU gauge. Battery master. Cockpit refuel panel. Service lights. Pins and covers. Securing checklist complete.
Wait for that to turn off. show up as an EasyJet? Odd. Well, thanks for your support, guys. I hope you enjoyed the little trip there. 2890 left on board. And I'll go and do the engine oil check. I'll leave you with this lovely view of Luton. That's not bad for an orange hangar or an attempt at making one. Doesn't look too bad. Somebody's put some effort in. The car park is a lovely touch. Actually, as an asset goes, it looks pretty good. I'm impressed. So, thanks for watching. Not the best flight. Not the best approach to landing anyway, but terrible. And see you guys again, hopefully this week, but I'm relatively busy, so I might not get a chance. Appreciate the support, thanks very much for joining, and I look forward to seeing you all again soon. Bye for now.